agenda.
Okay. Now, so once, then I can ask for the first motion, the second, okay. I have a motion for Mr. Hernandez to deviate from the agenda to A8. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, was I supposed to have any discussion? Ask for any discussion? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. So now I go back to
A8.
Okay,
Go ahead and read A8.
for the services, to business office. Okay, here we go. All right, we're going to go back to the action agenda, business office, A1, presentation and discussion on security guard.
A8.
Oh, I'm
A8.
sorry, I am so sorry. We're going to go back to that, okay.
We'll vote on A8.
We're going to vote on A8, okay.
You can defer to me.
Okay, next we have, okay, with action, okay, discussion and possible action to approve memorandum of understanding between Region 1 ESC Migrant Program and Mercedes ISD for nonprofit district agreement. Mrs. Mendiola.
Madam Chairman, at this time, we are not making, administration is not making a recommendation. Therefore, I ask that no action be taken on this item.
Okay, do I have to ask for a motion for that? No motion? So we can just
Go ahead and entertain a motion to deviate back to A1.
okay, may I have a motion to go back to A1?
Chairwoman, Ms. Trevino, I say so move.
Okay, may I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Ms. Delgado. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Motion passes. Okay, now we can go back to AA, got it. A1, sorry. Okay, sorry, guys. Okay, business office. Presentation and discussion on security guard services, RFP number 042121-355, A, do I need to go down to this? A205 security, B, MLG protection services, C, national security. Mrs. Mendiola.
Madam Chairman, we have presentations this evening. I do want to let all the individuals know who are presenting tonight that you have 7 minutes for your presentation. Mr. Ralph Mendez will be keeping time. Mr. Mendez, also please advise everyone when they have 1 minute left so that they can wrap up their presentation. Okay, we will have 205 come up and for their presentation, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Christopher Bustos. I'm the commander of the Rio Grande Valley for 205 Security. Mr. Flores is currently in Austin and was not able to make it back on time, so I'm here on his behalf. I'm going to go over a little bit of our background of our security company. 205 Protection was established in 2015. Mr. Flores is the sole owner. He's the next police officer and chief of police and the entire Rio Grande Valley. All of our security officers are trained by Mr. Flores alongside with Mr. Guerrero's security training. All our security officers are up to date with their level 2 and level 3s by the Texas Department of Public Safety. All of our security officers are trained in conflict resolution courses, sexual harassment courses, de-escalation situations, CPR, first aid, and are required every 6 months to take a continuing education course on all of these trainings. All of our security officers, before offered employment, have to go through a reference, background, previous employment, and must meet all guidelines set by Texas Department of Public Safety Private Security. We do drug screening prior to employment, and we do random drug screenings every month. all security officers who will be assigned to the Mercedes School District, if awarded the contract, will have a minimum of 2 years security experience working in the school environment. All security guards will be equipped with cell phones to communicate with staff. All 19 security officers that will be assigned to the school district will be in full uniform. And all assigned staff will have post orders prior to arriving at site, meaning that any security officer who comes to work here will already know what to do, as to where a lot of them show up and they don't know what to do. Before they get to the school, we would already have trained them on what they got to do, their post orders, whether it be elementary, junior high, high school, random patrol at night, whatever it is, they will be trained before they get here. Our roving units, currently we have 10 units available for patrol, which I believe 2 or 3 will be assigned to the school district. I will be in charge of overseeing the contract if awarded. So I will be the one in charge of gassing the units, checking up randomly day checks and night checks also, to ensure that all security officers are on site. A little bit about my experience. I have 17 years of security experience, 16 of those being in the school environments. I've been in charge of several IDEA public schools, Triumph schools, Valley View, in the past, Harlingen, currently Harlingen. In the past, I've also been in charge of Sherryland ISD and Hidalgo ISD. Currently, right now, I'm in charge of Valley View ISD, Harlingen ISD, and IDEA Public Schools and Triumph Public Schools here in the Valley. Along with my sergeants, Trevino, he's got 11 years of security experience in the schools. And Ambracio Perez, sergeant, he also has 17 years of working the schools also. I want to thank everybody for giving us the opportunity to present ourselves. I don't know if I can entertain questions or not, but if you have anything for me, I would like to answer it for you.
Any questions from the board?
Yes, he was a prior chief of police for the city of Alton. I believe 2 years. And then prior to that, he was a mission police officer for 10 years. At which time he also was a resource officer, so that he passes that training on to our security officers as well.
Anything further? Any other questions? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, we have MLG, Protection Services.
Madam President, Ms. Mendiola, members of the board, thank you for the opportunity to present my company and myself to you all. Members of the community, thank you for being here. I am Armando Garza. I am the owner of MLG Protection Services. Let me back up a little bit. This is Sergeant Paul Sanchez. He was I want to introduce who was up here with me in the Army, and he's in charge of my K-9 services right now. Sergeant Gonzalez is in charge of Mercedes ISD right now, currently. I'm Armando Garza, the owner of MLG Protection Services. I am a full-time owner and hands-on owner. I have run my company for the past 8 years, and I do have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, specializing in police administration. I am married to my beautiful wife, Oriala Garza, and I have 4 amazing kids. My oldest kid, Alexandra, is studying abroad in South Korea. And I have another daughter who graduated from San Marcos, Texas State University, with a degree in accounting. 2 kids that currently attend the University of Texas A&M in College Station. About MLG Protection Services. We're not only a full-time security services contractor, I do have a full-time training school. I am a level 2, level 3 instructor. All my guards that come to me and get hired by me get trained by me. 4 hours, 6 hours, whatever it takes for them to be full-time security officers with school districts. I'm a full-time instructor. I also am a full-time licensed private investigator. I do private investigations upon request. I employ about 150 security guards at MLG right now. All the security guards that are employed, Mercedes ISD, about 97% reside in Mercedes, Texas, which I'm very proud to say that. My first priority is to make that our guards are well-trained, paid on time, and they are taken care of. No late payments, no checks, bounce, anything like that. I'm also very proud that I do pay my unemployment compensation due to the fact of the pandemic back in March 2020. It was unfortunate. A lot of my guards didn't have work, and they did receive unemployment checks, and I was very happy to have paid that unemployment compensation for them. I do have general liability insurance. I do have workman's comp insurance for all my guards. If anybody gets hurt, Mercedes ISD is not responsible for anything. I am. My first priority to make sure that all my guards are well trained. That is my first priority. Before they place in any school district, in any site, I make sure that they know what they're doing at all times. I have currently 6 school districts that I work with: Mercedes ISD, Mission C ISD, Sheridan ISD, Hidalgo ISD, Juan Diego Academy, Rio Grande Valley College, and we were just awarded, which I'm very proud to say, South ISD. So we have an abundance of experience working with kids, school staff, administrators, making it safe for all the kids. Again, we're also trained in clearback policies, and I have over 28 years experience in law enforcement. Started off with Palmview PD's department a long time ago, early 90s, went to Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, then I went to McAllen PD for several years where I did investigations and I did patrol services. And last but not least, I was at the District Attorney's Office with HIDA, the Drug Task Force. So again, this is Sergeant Paul. He's in charge of the K-9 services. My K-9, we bought him about a year and a half ago. Unfortunately, the pandemic happened. Right now, we do have Sheridan ISD is one of our vendors. We do bag checks, then civil certified in narcotics, ammunition, weapons, and search and rescue. So he's been handling for about 2 years now. As an added bonus, we would offer contracted school districts 5 free K-9 services for any kind of drug searches, anything you need, career day, Red Ribbon Week, anything like that. I am providing 5 free services. He will come. Anybody who wants to meet the dog or career day, and some kids in the school district are interested in this, by all means, he will be here for you guys. Thank you guys. I appreciate the opportunity to serve Mercedes ISD. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Any questions from the board? No? Thank you, Mr. Garza.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Next, national security.
Good evening. My name is Steven Rodriguez. I am the Chief Strategic Officer with National Security. I'm here with my associates, Isaiel Del Toro, who is the Chief Operations Officer, and Mr. Oscar Del Toro, who is the Chief Executive Officer. And just want to tell you a little bit about us. So we have been in business since 2008, and we have experience delivering services in multiple locations and multiple types of security scenarios. So for example, we have worked in construction sites, warehouses, trucking sites, parking lots, apartments, restaurants, and event centers. So we're very well versed in multiple types of security situations in which security is required. Our express mission statement is quite simple. We are in the business of making sure that we provide the highest quality security services and protection while making sure that you have your expectations exceeded and surpassed. Mr. Oscar Del Toro is actually available 24/7 and has done so throughout all of his security scenarios that have been required. So if anybody is in need of anything, he is available, as well as any supervisor that is also on call. We really want to make sure that if there is any needs or any situation does arise, that you all are 100% supported. Mr. Del Toro has been in business for the last 18 years and has experience in multiple areas. As a law enforcement officer of the last 8 years with the Alton Police Department, he brings his expertise in security and is very well aware of making sure that his client's safety is at the forefront of his profession. excuse me, he's provided security services across all 4 counties in the Rio Grande Valley and brings that expertise in law enforcement to his security services as it is. Mr. Natividad Guerrero, who also works with us, has been in the police force and the security field for the last 20 years and is also a Vietnam veteran and provides the security training for all of our guards. So he is very, very well versed and is very well known in the security community, as I believe he was mentioned in a presentation a few minutes ago. He's helped conduct trainings all over the state of Texas, and we are very happy to work with him very closely. He is also the recipient of the Police Medal of Valor by the Alvin Police Department and was a member of the Police Honor Guard and the Police Interview Board for New Recruits, and is a member of the Brazoria County Crime Stoppers Board of Directors. And his expertise and his resume is quite extensive, and frankly cannot be listed here because it would take up more than the time that we have. In terms of our officers, our security officers are commissioned and non-commissioned, and we ensure that everyone undergoes a thorough and complete background check, as well as random drug tests. Sexual harassment obviously is a very important thing to be aware of, especially in this day and age, and we ensure that all of our guards do receive sexual harassment training so as to ensure the highest levels of integrity and respect with everyone that they deal with. We also utilize technologies to make sure that our guards are on site and that they are actively doing their duty. We do have a zero tolerance policy in regards to our guards. If any of our guards, for whatever reason, fail to live up to the highest standard and expectations that we have set for them, then they will be removed and immediately either reassigned or released by our organization, because we want to make sure that our guards are doing their jobs to their utmost highest level of integrity. In terms of these expectations that we require of all of our guards must be honorable, they must be loyal to the law, loyal to the cause, they must have integrity, and they must be accountable, and they must exert good communication skills. We want to make sure that our guards are communicating effectively, because far too often, too many situations have occurred where a guard was misunderstood, for example, and it created an unpleasant situation for all parties involved. So we are really working to ensure that our guards are able to communicate effectively. In terms of experience in school districts, Mr. Osvaldo Toro here has actually experienced managing and working in a school district setting and used to actually work with a different security company here in the Mercedes School District. I don't remember exactly what year that was. About 2007, 2008. He has actually already worked with Mercedes in the past and is very familiar with protocols and procedures, so far as I know, and also worked with Mid-Valley Academy. In terms of companies that we have worked with EB International. We have worked with Mr. Samuel Barbosa, CEO of EB International, and the McAllen Terminal Produce. Luis Acosta is the manager there with the McAllen Terminal Produce. And we have had very satisfied customers over the years. And that is who we are and how we operate. Are there any questions?
Are there any questions from the board? No. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. The computer don't do that. Okay, right. Okay, A2, discussion and possible action to award RFP number 042121-355 Security Guard Services. Mrs. Mendiola.
Madam Chairman, administration is recommending to table this item at this time.
Okay, may I have a motion to table this item, RFP number 042121-355 Security Guard Services? May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
So moved. Okay, may I have a second, please?
Second.
Mr. Hernandez? Okay. Any discussion? Okay, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay. 3, Presentation and discussion on delinquent tax attorney, RFQ number 042121-350. A. Linebarger, Gonen, Blair, and Sampson, LLP. Purdue, Brandon, Builder, Collins, and Mott, LLP. Mrs. Mendiola.
Madam Chairman, we have first Linebarger and their team presenting this evening. Once again, I'd like to remind you, you have 7 minutes for your presentation, and Mr. Mendez will let you know when you have 1 minute left. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. President Trevino, Superintendent Mendiola, distinguished board, staff, and public, my name is Jimmy Gonzalez. I'm an attorney with the Linebarger Law Firm, and joining me this evening is Kelly Rivera Salazar. She's a partner in our law firm. We also have team members Gonzo Villagomez and Jorge Saldaña. I would first like to thank the board for allowing Linebarger to present our qualifications to collect your delinquent tax cases. Why Linebarger? What makes Linebarger the most successful delinquent tax collection firm in the nation and the Rio Grande Valley? Because we offer our unmatched experience, success, and partnership. You're going to hear those 3 points often in tonight's presentation. Now, speaking of experience, Linebarger is a national law firm with over 45 years of experience located throughout many states across the country. We have over 120 attorneys and over 1,000 employees nationally. What about regionally? Linebarger is the only delinquent tax collection firm that collects for all 4 Valley counties and both multi-county school systems. We have 2 main fully staffed offices, one in Edinburgh and one in Brownsville, and 6 convenient Valley substations for your taxpayers to utilize. Locally, Mercedes ISD can depend on Linebarger's 5 full-time attorneys, backed by over 45 trained bilingual collection specialists with a combined experience of over 600 years. Now, what is Linebarger's approach for their success in collections? Linebarger's approach is predicated on deliberate planning, then actions. Our success is not predicated on luck or chance. We effectively communicate with your taxpayers to work out payment agreements, even during litigation, post-litigation, and even before tax sales, to do a fair resolution for all parties involved. We offer national bankruptcy representation, and our collection success and progress will be reported to this board by either myself or partner Kelly Rivera Salazar quarterly or as the board directs. Now, to speak more about our collection success specifically, let me turn the presentation over to Kelly. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy, President Trevino, esteemed members of the board. I'll begin on this next slide discussing where Mercedes ISD's collection have been and where you are now. When the district last changed collection firms, our collections were at 9.5%. Our successful collection program for the Mercedes ISD were the best in recent history, as you'll see on this next slide. Thank you. So how do these efforts compare to our firm, the other firm's collection efforts during the same time period? You'll see on this next slide, the other firm's collection results during the same time period were at a record-setting low. Now let's take a look at where your fiscal year ended on the next slide, thank you, last year. This gray chart represents collection efforts for both our law firm and the other firm. And we do that because once a contract is terminated, the contract calls for what's called a 6-month wrap-up period, where the prior firm is able to collect on litigation accounts, and the new firm represents the district on non-litigation accounts. So that's why it's in gray. And on the next slide, you'll see how this collection year compares to the prior year. And you'll see there was a dip in the year where Linebarger represented the district. But you'll also recall that it was during this 18-19 year that Mercedes and surrounding areas suffered historic flooding. And this flooding not only affected your daily life and your work, but it also impacted the community's ability to pay their delinquent taxes. So let's compare on the next slide this year's collection to recent history to get a better benchmark. And you'll see this past fiscal year was on par with the prior history for Mercedes ISD. But let's take a closer look at this gray area where it's a combined collection year on the next slide. You'll see in blue are the collection results for Linebarger. You'll see that during that combined year, we collected about 2/3 of the total collections for Mercedes ISD. And that's primarily because during that combined year, we were able to successfully bring in collections for H&H properties. And I don't know if y'all recall, on the expressway for a long period of time, there was a dilapidated business that was in bankruptcy for many years. But our experienced bankruptcy team was able to track that down, follow the bankruptcy process, and once H&H was released from the confines of bankruptcy, we were allowed to jump in and collect, and we did. We brought that case to judgment, to tax sale, and ultimately resale. And despite the fact that we were no longer representing the district, we brought in that money for the district, and you see from the collection results that it brought in a good deal of money for the district. On the next slide, you'll see that where your collections are right now. Currently, your collections through April are 17.69%. It's important to put that, I'm sorry, what? Okay, it's important to put that into context. Let's compare it to the other two school districts locally that the other firm represents. You're third of three. But let's also compare you to a handful of other districts that we represent locally. Again, you're last. This district deserves better. It deserves an experienced group of collection attorneys with over 600 years of combined collection experience, 5 attorneys out of the Edinburgh office that will work, not even counting the attorneys in the Cameron County and staff over there. This district deserves better. And on the next slide, I want to let you know that we pride ourselves on forming and maintaining partnerships with our clients and the communities they represent. This slide depicts the clients that have chosen at one point or another to partner with the other firm. And on the next slide, you'll see that over 60% of those clients have chosen to restore their partnership with Linebarger. Thank you for your time. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any board have questions?
So my only question is, I know you commented about the flooding in this area 2 years ago, I guess it was 18-19. What, have you seen any impact as a result of the pandemic in tax collection?
That's a great question. My office oversee the COVID response, which I know you all had and recognized the nurses here earlier, and I applaud them tremendously. I mean, we all were pretending to be scientists during this time period. But in answer to your question, what we observed with our local clients is for the period of March, because we all know it was during spring break that locally we got inundated with the effects of COVID. March, April, and May, we took a hit from our clients. People didn't want to leave their office, their homes. They were scared. They didn't know what the future brought. So during that time period, we saw a drop. However, since then, beginning of June of 2020, we've seen tremendous results on our collection efforts. Locally, we just applauded our office. Everybody got free breakfast because for 12 months straight, for the whole year, our office saw over 100% collection results for our clients, office-wide. So it's a matter of adapting. Because of COVID, we shut down our office to incoming taxpayers to protect our staff and also the community. But we had what we refer to as curbside payment, where people could come, park it at any one of our 4 offices, call the staff and say, I want to pay, how do I do that? We had a drop box. So it's about adapting in these really difficult times and managing as best we can. I hope I answered your question.
No, yes, you did.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Salazar, you mentioned 6 Valley substation offices. I know Ed Couch is one.
Yes.
The others are?
Sure. We have our main office in Edinburgh. We have one in McAllen, in Mission, and in Ed Couch. And then we also have offices in Zapata, in Rio Grande City, 2 in Rio Grande City, right? That's where Jimmy spends a lot of his time, and Roma. And we're not mentioning the ones in Brownsville. We've got an office in Brownsville and also Harlingen, because I know some of the folks here in Mercedes don't just stay in Hidalgo County all the time. They're so close to Cameron. So it's helpful for the taxpayer.
Actually, yes, it is. I know the one in Ed Couch. Had to take my mother-in-law to that, and she's not the most patient lady. And they were very efficient. I mean, very curbside, and we're very concerned about that. So yes, it's. But I wasn't aware of the other
Thank you.
5.
Yeah.
The other 5 that you have. Fully staffed.
That's right. That's right.
How
We
many- how
we
much-
have about 50 employees, bilingual, that are ready to assist anybody walking in the door, direct them, and answer any questions they might have.
Good. Good.
It's a difficult time because of COVID, and people need to be reassured that the collection efforts aren't strict and harsh, that we can work with them and be a little bit more flexible to both meet their needs and our clients' needs. And we've done our best to do that.
Yeah, they did a very good job. Very bilingual and very patient.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have Purdue.
And I'm sorry, I know it was 7 minutes, the presentation. I think it went a little bit over. Are we allowed some additional time?
Mr. Mendez is keeping time, and I'm pretty sure, because he even announced 1 minute left. Now, there will be extra time for questions.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam President, Superintendent Mendiola, and honorable members of the board. Here with me today is my partner, Tamo Bandu, my office manager, team Mari Cortez, and Ruben Trigo with us. First of all, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to be here before you. It's certainly an honor and a privilege, and it's been an honor and a privilege working for you for the last year and a half. Well, why stay with Purdue Brandon? Well, when experience, reputation, and performance matter, Purdue Brandon is the right choice for you. Our team consists of 14 offices throughout the state, 56 licensed attorneys, and approximately 400 support staff. Experience matters, and Purdue Brandon has the experience Mercedes ISD needs and deserves. We have 51 years of experience in governmental collections, and we have over 1,600 clients in government tax collections. With Purdue Brandon, you can expect an array of services, including personalized collection programs, litigation services, tax sale services, and other value-added services such as community involvement. Purdue Brandon takes great pride in being involved in the communities in which it serves. Throughout the years, we have donated thousands of dollars to many worthy organizations here in the Valley, including the Mercedes ISD Scholarship Foundation, Mercedes Quarterback Club, Taifa Mercedes Youth Sports, and Quinn City 4-H, just to mention a few. Performance. Purdue Brandon has a performance history of high collection rates. When Purdue has the collection contract, collection rates increase. When it does not, collection rates decrease. La Jolla ISD is an example of this. Back in 2015, 2016, our competitor collected for Mercedes ISD. The next year, we took over collections. Collections shot up to 28.99, 29.73, and 30%. This year with COVID, just like many other entities throughout the Valley, collections went down to 25.83, but as you can see, it's very similar to the last year our competitor had with contract. At Emergency ISD, similar situation. Last year we had it was 30.80, and this past year, collections dropped down to 24.93. Again, COVID had probably something to do with that, but collections did drop. McAllen ISD, similar situation. Last year we had it 41.32%. Every year after that, the collections have been lower, and this year, COVID year, 28.76. City of FAR, similar situation. Last year we had it 36.54. Every year after that, it's been lower, under our competitor. Mercedes ISD. The last full year a competitor had Mercedes ISD, that's the 2018-2019. At the end of April, collections were at $199,629. The following year, this year now, At the end of April, we were at $239,000, or an increase of $40,000 over the same period. Keep in mind, 2018-19, before COVID, this year, it's COVID, and still collections are better. This graph here shows it as a percentage of the tax roll. Last year they had it, for those 8 months, collections were at 18.26. This year, we're already at 17.69, an increase of over 3.43%. Now, if you compare it, the last fiscal year, our competitor had the contract, collections were at 19.54%, and this past year, we're at 25.54, an increase of 6%. We're not taking credit for all of those collections. We were only there part of the year, but as you can see, your collections increased dramatically even during COVID. Just about no other entity in the Valley saw an increase this past year. Most of them suffered a decrease. Reputation. Purdue Brandon has long enjoyed a positive public perception with its superior collections and customized collection programs. Purdue Brandon is committed to premier customer service with exceptional staff upholding the core values of honesty, integrity, and ethical conduct. Now, back in 2019, we approached the school district because we were aware that the school district was not following audits with the state. And because of this, it was losing hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. We came to the school district, explained this to the district. The district took a chance on us. They were a little skeptical, took a chance on us, but a few months later, in October of 2019, our competitor, presenting to the school board, told the school board, school district is not losing any money. You shouldn't have hired Purdue Brandon. That was a waste of money. Well, that was not true. They were not filing audits for the school district, and no one was filing audits for the school district. As soon as we were hired, we filed 3 audits for the 2015, 2016, and 2017 tax years. Those audits have already been certified by the state, and in fact, the school district has already received over $575,000 in just the last 12 months. Money that the school district would have not seen had they followed the advice of my competitor. So what's important? That you represent people in Houston or Dallas and whatever, who's taking care of the business here in Mercedes ISD? Who's looking out for Mercedes ISD? Purdue does that for you. In fact, once all of these audits are completely funded, we expect that the school district will receive over $779,000 just for those 4 audits we've filed so far. We will continue filing audits for the school district. In fact, our property value studies team has over 25 years of experience, 4 leading experts, and they represent 430 school districts. Mercedes ISD has and should continue to have a tax collection firm that will work in the best interest of the school district, be open, honest, and transparent, and do what is right to maximize the opportunities for increasing funding for the district through delinquent tax collections and taxable value audits. I thank you for your time and open it up for any questions you may have.
Is there any questions from the board at this time? Questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, 4, discussion and possible action to award RFQ number 042121-350 delinquent tax attorney and authorize administration to provide applicable did I misspell that?
Applicable. Contractual.
Contractual notice and negotiable contract if
Applicable.
This is just not the way it is. Okay. May I have a motion from the floor?
Madam Chair, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to award the contract to Purdue, Brandon, Fiedler, Collins, and Mott.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Acosta. May I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second from Mr. Martinez. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor
Well,
say.
Madam
I'm
Chair,
sorry.
I'll just make a comment. You know, I value the presentations. I looked over the information that they presented. It was quite difficult to disseminate the information because there was different time periods throughout the presentation. Some of those graphs dictated timeframes from September through December. Others were September through April. And at the end, there's some that incorporate the whole fiscal year. Being that Purdue has not been with us for a complete fiscal year, it was difficult to really put any emphasis or analytical or analyze that information. The only thing that I did notice was that here in September through April, they were at 17%, 17.49%, I believe, in collections, which is very close to what was done in the 2018-2019 school year. In addition to that, I just value the fact that they did look into the audits for us and were able to secure additional funding for us, close to the $700,000. To me, that at this point, since we can't really make a fair comparison, I just believe that that is something that's looking at for our district. And in this time, you know, with the pandemic going on, enrollment going down, we need to depend on those local dollars to fund our school district. So that's the basis for my decision. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Yes, Madam Chairman. Not being, not really as informed about these delinquent collections, being new to the board, but I do wonder, I did a little bit of research, and I've asked how long Lineberger had been with the Mercedes ISD School District. Can't really get a straight, you know, not really received an answer as to how many years, but it's been a long time. They mentioned some other superintendent, and I feel like, okay, that's a long time. So up until the year, what, 2018, 19, when they were terminated, they had, from what I've gathered from others, they had done a pretty good job. I mean, there was never issues. Now, I'm concerned with the fact that earlier it was mentioned that they were informed that they were not doing the tax audits. You know, how does that come about? I'm concerned with that. It seems like Lineberger has been doing the tax collections. Had they been made aware that they were not doing this by the school board, by anyone from the school board, that they were not looking into these audits? Had they ever been informed that they were not? Or was it until that meeting or until that time that they were informed? I don't know. Can somebody give me some information on that?
No, basically.
Or that's not how it works? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, the audits were brought forth by Purdue. The fact that there was, I guess, that wasn't being conducted by the previous tax attorney. And so they brought it to the attention. At that time, action was taken for them to pursue that funding, and we went ahead and received that funding. But it's something that's there. If I'm not mistaken, Tony, it's available for any attorney, a taxing attorney, to look at that, or, I mean, how, that's just in the interest of the district. I don't know that we're supposed to bring that up, or they're supposed to do that on our behalf. Do you know, or no? You don't?
I know both firms.
Yeah.
Are experienced tax collection attorneys.
Yeah.
As far as who should initiate it, I can't speak to it.
Okay.
And so is that information just provided from the tax office to any tax attorney, or how did?
I think, if I
Yeah.
understand correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that it was brought up by Purdue.
Okay.
And we questioned the Lineberger at the time, and I think they mentioned that they didn't provide those services, that might be extra or something like that. Do you remember that conversation?
It's been a while.
It's been a while, but.
Yeah, but it was
Lady-
something, it just wasn't a service that
Yeah,
was
but Lady
provided.
Chair, if I recall, I think I was differentiating it from that extra service, and what I'm concentrating is on the tax collections. And Mr. Glossa brings up a valid point, absolutely, but the way I see it, These are totally different items. I'm looking at the tax collection. And yes, you have this extra stuff in there that's, they're discussing. Me as a taxpayer, I'm looking at the tax collection, because, it was a very difficult discussion, And I remember, it's on the minutes, I said I want to go and revisit this again, and everything aside, I look at the tax collection. And that's where in my humble opinion, we should be focusing on the tax collection. And that's my 2 cents.
Thank you for your information. I'm the same with, I feel the same way. I'm more about the tax collection than the audits. I mean, sure, it came in at a really, really good time to help the district, and I'm sure going forward, that's going to continue. But the concern is with our tax collections. Who was doing this they were doing this for quite a while. And there had been no, I mean, like I said, not really knowing the whole ins and outs of this tax collections audits and the delinquency of taxes. But I'm thinking that their years of service for the district speaks for itself.
And I agree,
Thank
Ms. Delgado, with the tax collection is at the forefront. That's what this is about. But like I had mentioned earlier, it's kind of hard from the information that's being presented, it's hard to make a fair comparison because Purdue has not had a complete year. In the September to April timeframe that they have been doing the collections, because the previous year was a combination of both, but in the September to April timeframe that they've been doing the collections, their percentage is at 17.49. In the whole fiscal year of the 2018-19, it was at 19%. So you're looking at a difference of about 1.75 with at least 4 more months to go. So without that information, it's kind of difficult to determine, a fair comparison. I think that's what I'm gathering, is that I believe that, we need to have a full year so we can really analyze the data. Of course, it's difficult too because, like they mentioned, we had the flooding the previous year, and now we have the pandemic. But to me, it's difficult, and I think that it would be valuable to have a whole year of collection so we could have a better analysis of the data and see how it's going.
Sure. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay. I have a motion by Mr. Acosta for Purdue and a second by Mr. Martinez. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Okay. Motion fails. Right? So now do we
You can entertain another motion.
entertain another motion? Okay. May I have a motion for, to award the RFQ 042121-350 delinquent tax attorney and authorize administration to provide applicable contractual notice and negotiate contract if applicable.
Lady Chairwoman, I make a motion that CIC select Lineberger for our tax attorneys.
Okay. I have a motion from Mr. Hernandez. May I have a second?
Second the motion.
I have a second from Ms. Delgado. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
You said you, what? Okay. All those opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Motion passes. Okay. Gonna go on to 5. Presentation and discussion on student athlete insurance, RFP number 042121-352, Alamo Insurance Group, Salazar Insurance Group, Texas Insurance Service Center. Mrs. Mendiola.
Madam Chairman, we have these 3 entities here this evening. First, we will begin with Alamo Insurance Group with their presentation. And just a friendly reminder that we have 7 minutes per presentation. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, School Board President, and Mrs. Mendiola. We are Alamo Insurance Group. We are based in San Antonio, but I have an office in Edinburgh, which I service the whole valley. I've been in service for 20 years. I've had Mercedes ISD before as student insurance. We pride ourselves in student athletic insurance. Our company is Texas Monarch. We've had experience with your trainers, and we have the reputation through them. You can check references. We've been, we're gonna do a brief presentation as far as the base plan that we offered. We have an extensive network. I'm gonna elaborate a little bit on that. The network serves in the United States, not only in the Valley. If a child gets hurt and the parents decide not to do the surgery here and they want a second opinion, we've had kids go to Atlanta. We've had kids to go to San Antonio, anywhere they want to take their child. There's no balance billing. And we've also had children, because of the border, that they prefer to take them to Monterrey, Reynosa, wherever they want. They bring us the bill and we convert it in dollars, and they get reimbursed according to the plan that they purchased, the district purchased. We also have Dr. Gregory Smith, which has been serving the district for years with a no balance bill, DHR with a no balance bill. We have electronic filing. Example is it's a Friday night, the child gets hurt, parents have to take him on the ambulance. The trainer gets his phone, files the claim. By the time the child gets to the hospital, the file is already claimed. It's already on file electronically. The hospital can research it through the internet, and the claim is already filed to the company. So there's no paper that has to be done, loose paper. It has to be electronic, which your trainers love that, because they don't have to be chasing the parent to sign it here, bring it back, oh, it got lost. We don't have that. It goes electronically. The enrollment is through Monarch. It's electronic. The claiming on the catastrophic and the base plan, it runs concurrent. You don't have, there's other insurances or competitors that you file the first claim with the carrier, and the second claim, once it hits the catastrophic insurance, which is after $25,000, you have to file another claim and make sure that the hospital and the doctors talk to each other, who met the deductible, and then bill. We do one claim, and then it just runs until whatever the limit is of the plan. The claims are reported monthly. They're in the system. The trainers have access to all claims and to see whether the claim is being paid or not paid, and it's on file, and also that it is accurate as far as the billing and what has been paid, what hasn't been paid, what doctor did they see, and the services as far as physical therapy. So that's more or less what we are entitled. Any questions?
Do you have any questions from the board?
How long did you work with the district before, in Mercedes?
We worked from 2003 up to last year that we lost it to our competitor, and we've never had a problem, and all the claims have gotten paid. And again, no balance billing for the parents. That's very important, because a lot of these kids here in the border don't have insurance, and parents don't get bills. And if they do, it's because somewhere along the way, either the ambulance, those are the most common, or the emergencies, those are not contracted through the hospitals. So they have to be filed individually. So normally those, they bring them to the trainer calls us, emails it to us, and we get it processed.
And quick question, so there's no deductions for the parents whatsoever?
No, sir, there's not. We haven't seen any in the past 13 years that we've been here. Then, I mean, like I said, you can check with the trainers. What I'm telling you, they can testify to it.
Do you have a, what's it called? It's a network of doctors and facilities?
Yeah, we do
here that
have a
they-
network, and I can provide it to you if you let me,
No,
or
look,
to the.
just-
Yeah, but
I'm
we
just
do have a
wondering, like,
network. If you go
location-wise?
to texasmonarch.com, you can go into the providers networks, and you can research within 50 miles, 100 miles. We do have a very extensive network.
Okay. So they can pretty much choose wherever they want to go, and it would be paid out at the.
If they stay within the network,
Within the network.
it's best, because we do pay
I'm sorry.
we do pay the contract. You buy a plan, and then only what you buy on the plan, because some people charge more than what,
Yeah.
like the doctor will say, example, I'll charge you $5,000 for this surgery, right? If you go out of the network, the other doctor can say, I'll charge you $7,000. So then, that's where we negotiate, but your contract is what is followed to be paid. And that's for every contract. Medical, the same thing.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you.
Next, we have Salazar Insurance Group.
Hello. Good evening. My name's Dion Chavez, by the way. This is John Gutleg. He's going to be going over the presentation. So with that, I just want to thank Superintendent, Madam Chairperson, as well as the members of the board. Again, my name is Dion Chavez. I work with John. I'm a representative with him. But John, you're on the air.
Yes, good evening, everyone, Board of Trustees. I hope everyone's doing well. I'd rather present in person. However, I did have a conflict today. I had to attend a freshman orientation with my daughter at University of North Texas, so I apologize for that, but I appreciate the virtual. Really appreciate that. I'm the president of Student Insurance Plans. We currently insure Mercedes ISD for the remainder of the school year through 7/31/2021. Salazar Insurance Group is our local representation that serves as kind of local representation for local providers, trainer meetings, etc. So they're very helpful as part of the local representation. Can't always see my presentation, but I apologize. I just wanted to get through this. Pan American Life is our insurance company. They insure all three policies. You have a blanket policy, you have a catastrophic policy, and then you have a voluntary policy with parents purchase. So the carrier insures all three policies, which makes it kind of an ease for the schools to handle if there's any kind of claims. It's all handled by one claims office. Student Insurance Plans, I am the president of Student Insurance Plan. I've got about 25 to 30 years of experience exclusively with student athletic insurance. Based out of North Dallas, but primarily my business is about 99% in Texas. And then actually, you met Dion Chavez, he's represents Salazar Insurance Group. And then just kind of dedicated service team, local model, handle a lot of premium collections. We're heavily involved with claims, kind of on a local provider level as well as through the claim system. planning portals to assist parents or even trainers, athletic directors to assure that their kids' athletic plans are being paid accordingly and promptly. On online capabilities, we do have electronic planning form that is, the trainers love to use as well. And what that does basically is they fill it out, whether they're on the field or away from, away on games, they fill it out and, excuse me. And actually they put the parents' information in, and that email, that plan form is emailed to the parents so they have a copy of it right away. And they can file it with the provider can send it in to the claims department. Our forms are obviously both Spanish and English. We have an online tool to enroll voluntary premium for the parents to purchase on their kids. Our preferred network, this was built exclusively for the Valley. The network design will serve the Valley to provide network pocket for parents. And it's a robust network. It's experienced all the way from brownfield all the way to infancy. It's very robust. It's exclusively built for food network. We've had a partner with IMS for about 10 years now. Got a very good relationship with them. But there's any providers that are not on the network, they can easily be added to the network and contracted with and then as far as our references, schools that know and trust us, these are just 4 fairly large districts, I'm sure, that obviously surround the state's ISD that we've had a few years now, and obviously they trust and know us and work on them. And then, on the top I have, for the closing, working through this pandemic, it all started in spring of 2020. All the schools obviously shut down in the spring. So, we were dealing with refunds and credits and so forth. And here comes 2021, we think that we're totally out of there. Well, obviously we weren't. So we entered agreement with the state last year that any activities were canceled or shortened due to COVID, that we would prorate and the impact to it. So
1 minute, John.
And obviously there is a return, a refund being generated that will be sent back to the district in 2021 school. And obviously it's a federal thing for all the districts. I'm up in Dallas, so we played quite a bit of activities. Obviously the Valley, the whole middle school program shut down. Varsity, you guys know, but varsity was very minimal and fast. But we were in the process of putting back a return premium for the 2021 school year. And it's been, I don't know if I can share numbers with or whatnot, but it's close to $200,000.
Okay. All right. Thank you, John. If I can make just the comment or highlight his last statement in case it wasn't heard, there was a refund for the 2021 year where the premium of $100,000 is being given back.
Yes, sir.
And that
Yes.
is an arrangement that will extend through the new year. And I don't know of any company that would do that, but.
That was part of the agreement when we
Okay.
signed with SIP.
So
I
that
believe.
was the
That
last thing
part
he
of
was
the
trying
agreement.
to mention. So
Yes, sir. Thank you.
you're welcome. Any questions? It's actually
96, I
about,
believe?
yeah, it's about 96, 98, thereabouts. And that, we'll get you the exact numbers, but I want to say that the total amount was 143. That was the total amount. And that amount, again, is 90, how much?
The refund amount is $99,130. The best and final offer, that was presented, that the district sent, asked for best and final offer, was 143.3. That's what the actual best and final offer is, for student insurance plans and SIP. We did increase some benefits as well for physical therapy, which enhanced the physical therapy services on the insurance plan as well.
Thank you, John. Any other questions?
Could you just, some of the vocabulary that's presented to the board, can you tell us what UNC means?
Usual and customary, UNC. Usual and customary would be characteristic of what a doctor would generally charge in terms of their cost.
So of UNC, and it says up to 40, let's say a physician's visit. Does that mean that it'll pay $40 of that visit? And if it goes over, if it's 75, then who incurs that balance?
There will be no incurred charge because within the network, they have it arranged to where it's like no balance bill, so they basically have those pre-negotiated pricings.
Pre-negotiated,
So
okay.
it basically ends up that the parent pays nothing, or the district in this case, it's paid in full. Correct. 100% would be an accurate way of saying it, yes.
Right. And as we do, I'm sorry, and as we, like the majority of us in this room or on the board, we've had our children in sports, UIL-related events, and some of them, including mine, they've had injuries, and usually when we've gone, they will always ask for primary insurance. If we have insurance on our child, they'll take that primary insurance and then this student insurance?
That
Or
wouldn't
how
be,
does that work?
that wouldn't, well, I'll let John answer. Go ahead, John.
Yes, typically the student insurance is secondary to other collectible insurance. So in this case, like a primary insurance, through an employer or whatnot.
Right.
Student insurance is meant to be a secondary carrier. However, if parents have no other insurance, then obviously the student insurance becomes primary. And so then you would more so than any want to utilize the network so that there's no out-of-pocket expenses for the parent. If there's a primary issue involved, then you probably have to follow the primary protocols set forth in their plan. We would just coordinate benefit as a secondary carrier and process the benefits accordingly.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Also, earlier they mentioned trainers, there's constant communication with the trainers. I'm thinking you follow up with the trainers to see how the
Yes,
athlete is doing,
yes.
or?
Through
or-
800 numbers, local representation,
Uh-huh.
and then website access, yes.
Okay. Do you ever get any feedback from the parents?
I'm sorry.
Do you get any feedback from the parents?
As
Or-
generally,
or, they call you?
the communication as far as us locally, yes. But again, out of North Dallas, we have that relationship where we work with all parties involved. So the short
Okay.
answer would be yes, when it's necessary or when there's questions that arise.
Okay. No issues with any of the claims, with your claims?
None that I can speak of.
Yeah.
John,
I
any
know-
issues to speak of regarding claims that would be?
Unpaid, or?
If there's ever, Jaime emails me if there's any issues with a parent or a claim, and I'll actually email it directly to the claims department and we'll get it resolved, or at least headed in the right direction to get it resolved as to might need a bill or something. So we work closely with the trainers to make sure that the parents are kind of out of it, we're just handling it so that
Good.
it can be processed and parents are happy and we're moving on. So.
And again, I know we're talking about Mercedes, so I'm just just mentioning that, you know, we do this also for Rio Grande City CISD, we do it for La Jolla, we do it for Brownsville ISD and Edinburgh CISD, but I know we're here in Mercedes.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm concerned. I'm concerned with what the parents, you know, I don't want a parent to end up with a bill of thousands and thousands of dollars, and because their primary insurance didn't cover, or, you know, anything like that. I mean, budget is one thing, the numbers and everything that we have to work concerned with as a board is, you know, it's what we're going to do. But we also have to just, as a parent, look into what offers the best coverage.
Understood.
100%, $50 here and there, or 50%, 90%. We really want what offers the most coverage.
As was mentioned, 100%.
Yeah.
Right, so.
Yeah. And we know that imaging and x-rays, they're not cheap. They're not, and it's pretty expensive, scans and things like that. Yeah.
But yeah, if the primary insurance for some reason doesn't pay anything, obviously we're utilizing our network so that we can keep the cost down and to assure that there's no out-of-pocket expenses for the parents. Because we're not passing on thousands of dollars. If for some reason it's not in the network for whatever reason, our INS, our network contacts and providers in the community government, like negotiates a contract or a write-off so the parents don't have to pay anything.
Right.
So I've seen incidents where it's been out of network for at least many years ago, and it's been negotiated and written off by the provider, and they accepted payment in full for whatever amount was agreed upon at that time. So it's an ongoing process and relationship that we have to not only increase the network, but to assure that the parents aren't stuck with huge amounts of bills, balance statements, or whatnot.
Okay.
Just so that we can go forward and build the relationship with the district and assure that the parents aren't being balanced billed for that matter.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Just, okay. Well, I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. Texas Insurance Service Center?
I have a handout here, so we made one of the slides was off on there, slide number 9. Can we make a correction on it? I'm just gonna hand it over to. That's just slide 9.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening. My name's Albert Salinas. I'm with Texas Insurance Service Center. We're located out of Harlingen, Texas, and I represent the brokerage store. We are, and Student Assurance Services, our third-party administrator. Through the brokerage store, we've been writing student insurance for about 23 years, and one of the state leaders in the number of districts. We write over 230 school districts in the state of Texas, about 16 here in the Rio Grande Valley, some being your neighbors, you know, Westlaco, Donna, PSJA, Mission, San Benito, and Los Fresnos, and quite a few others on there. But we do offer the same type of plans as just as other competitors do as well. We offer 3 different plans. The plan that you guys are looking at, if I'm not mistaken, is our Texas Value Plan, which is a plan that is selected by the majority of our school districts on there. It's just what it is. It does provide value based on the benefit levels we have for our premium on there. Like all the other carriers, we do use networks. We do 2 different type networks. So we use one, our USA MCO PPO network, where students receive discounts based on the service they've received. And then we also have the Lone Star Athletic Network, which is our full assignment network, and that's statewide. It's administered through USA MCO, who's out of Austin, Texas. They're one of the largest PPO networks here in the state of Texas. They're the first ones that came on with chips and got all those different providers contracted to be part of that network on here. We have 3 different plans that we offer. One is our base policy, our student accident insurance, which is the UIL coverage that the school district buys. We offer the catastrophic. Our base policy is offered through Emeritus Life Insurance, an A-rated carrier. We also offer our voluntary insurance.
This is insurance that any student can buy throughout the school district through pre-K through 12. So if a student wants to participate in school, but we have school time coverage on there where it's just your PE class or your recess period and they have an injury and they purchase this coverage, there's coverage for them also, just like there is for the UIL students and interscholastic sports. The third one that we offer is our catastrophic insurance. Earlier you did hear that some of the other carriers have it in one policy from 0 through to your catastrophic. We do our base policy from 0 to 25,000. From 25,001 we move it over to our catastrophic policy, which is underwritten through Zurich American. It gives them a maximum benefit amount of $10 million. Also provides some accidental death and dismemberment benefits. And we also provide the option for a catastrophic cash benefit. The catastrophic cash benefit is something that's exactly what it is when a student does have a catastrophic injury, oftentimes you forget about the other expenses other than just your medical expenses. But when a student does have a catastrophic injury and maybe becomes a paraplegic or so, things need to be done to their home. Things need to be done, for the person that's going to be caring for them on a day-to-day basis. Oftentimes you'll have a parent that, leaves the workforce and just stays home to stay with that injured child. So we've incorporated a catastrophic cash benefit that gives up to a $500,000 benefit, a $100,000 lump sum benefit for the parent after 6 months. That helps out with a van or any ramps for their homes or so. And then a annual disability benefit of $40,000 a year for 10 years on there. As mentioned, our Lone Star Athletic Network is our full assignment network. We have the majority of the providers in the area. In terms of hospital-wise, we have Valley Baptist, who's new to our network as part of it, Nat Medical Center, DHR, all your orthopedic surgeons that you typically use, Dr. Smith, Dr. Owens, Dr. Snyder, UTRGV. Those are all part of our network. As I say, we write 230 districts in the state of Texas, and our network is not just valley-wide, it's statewide on there, as well as we have our national network through USAMCO. Our claim forms, just like everybody else on here, we do offer an online claim form. That's a copy of one right there that we would fill out. Part A would be for the school district to complete. Part B would be for your parents. That claim form is a fillable PDF online. You can go ahead, fill it off online, send it off online as well, and have all the capabilities of an online claim system where the trainer can go submit that on there, make any, if he has an inquiry of whether or not a claim has been submitted, what type of claim it was, the date of injury, whether it's paid, pending, all those things would be built in on our online claim system through Student Assurance Services. Our voluntary insurance as well, we can do it where we'll give each individual student, a trifold type brochure that has a self-addressed envelope for them to send monies in, or they can go ahead and do it directly online, purchase online, and pay online as well. Some of the things that we do a little different in terms of our reporting than the other carriers is that we do a 180-day reporting period. So in other words, we have 180 days to submit an accident claim form to our carrier so that we can have that as a valid claim. Most other carriers use 90 days, so we go ahead and double it to 180 days, as well as 180 days to seek initial treatment. Most others have 90 days that student, once the date of injury occurs, they have 90 days to seek treatment. We do 180. That way, in the event that student is working with the student trainers or with the athletic trainers, they can go ahead and see if it's an injury that needs full medical attention or if it's something that can be addressed here with your athletic trainer. I know they're short on time there, but if anybody has any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer.
Do we have any questions from the board? No?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Discussion and possible action to award RFP number 0421211352, student athletic insurance. Mrs. Mendiola.
Madam Chairman, administration is recommending approval of Texas Insurance Service Center for RFP number 042121-352 for student athletic insurance.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Acosta. May I have a second? Do I have a second for the recommendation? No second motion? No. Okay, so motion, does that motion die? So
Dies.
we ask for another motion?
I'd like to make a motion to stay with, Solid Insurance Group. Can I get a second?
Second the motion.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Howell to continue with Salazar Insurance Group and a second from Ms. Delgado. Any discussion? I have a question, Ms. Delgado. I'm sorry, Ms. Mendiola. Your recommended, well, I guess we can't go back. I can't ask about her recommendation anymore, right? Because that motion died?
You can ask whatever's on the agenda that
Okay. I was just wondering, your recommendation, it came from your
It came from the
committee?
committee. Yes, we had 3 members of the committee, and Coach Adam is here, and our athletic